Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey Chris, 22-month resub. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Oh, the weather report's coming on here. Hold on.
Here over the pad, and
Hold on.
we will be in a
Let me
go
cut it in.
situation just before T0, but we'll continue to evaluate those clouds all the way up until the final few seconds of the count.
Ooh.
Now, a live look at satellite imagery behind me shows those widespread clouds covered across the spaceport. But the deepest clouds, the strongest showers and thunderstorms are well west of Complex 41. And the clouds that you see over Cape Canaveral right now are beginning to thin. So that's why we're very confident going into today's opening of the window, and we do look good. Jessica Williams just gave her final weather brief at L-30 minutes and gave a 60% chance of go or 40% chance of no-go conditions due to the cumulus cloud and attached anvil rules. Now, although Mother Nature isn't cooperating right now, we do expect her to cooperate here shortly, and we should be good to go at the opening of the window. Andrea, back to you.
Thanks, Will. Wind can play a critical role on launch day. ULA has a team of engineers making sure we maximize our launch opportunities with real-time wind monitoring and trajectory updates. To learn more, we spoke with Robert Olson.
That's not till later. Later in the year.
ULA, and I'm responsible for the execution of
Oh.
operations here in the Denver room.
So hey guys, I'm feeling marginally better, I guess. Voice is fine. I don't need to try and change anything with the voice today, so that's good. Resting really helped. Go figure. Stupid meat suit thing. Stupid meat suit. Damn meat suit. Anyway, I'll shut up. We'll hear what's good.
On launch day.
Oh yeah, yeah, Smirks, pretty bad. But I'll be alright. I've been trying to stream the last couple of days. I've tried to stream almost every day this week, but I just can't do it because I don't have the lung capacity. Go figure. An acute respiratory syndrome affecting your breath. I know. It's almost like it's in the name or something. Give me water and sugar. So I should be good, but I'm going to be here for the launch, but I am going to take the rest of the night off just to be sure. Still a little raspy, but yeah, well, I think I got my lung capacity back. I think. I just took me an entire day of resting. It's okay. I binge watched Stranger Things. It's fine.
We still meet our timeline for whatever T0.
15 minutes, Ilya.
Very important for us here to balance reliability and launch availability. Reliability would be having the most amount of margin possible and protecting
Yeah,
the vehicle
Smirks,
that
it's
way,
not fun,
while
but
that would be in direct conflict with being able to launch at any given time. So we're balancing that here with the way that we operate with the balloon.
that's what I was like yesterday, dude. Today it's better. Hey, Marrakesh. Ishiku, what's going on?
Allows us to provide that balance.
Chroma Cola, my favorite. Dude, I'm going through ginger ale like you would not believe. Nico!
Just as we went on air, the hold was extended. We will be unable to enter terminal count as the appointed time at 6:00 p.m. Eastern liftoff time. ULA is launching USSF-12 for the Space Force's Space Systems Command. Let's learn more from Government Mission Integration Manager, Lieutenant Paige Harrison.
USSF-12 features two satellite payloads, the Wide Field of View testbed, as well as the USSF-12 ring. Atlas V will deliver both spacecraft directly to geosynchronous orbit, approximately 22,000 miles or 36,000 kilometers above the equator. The forward payload, Wide Field of View, is a testbed spacecraft that informs the next-gen overhead persistent infrared program, the successor for the Space-Based Infrared System program, or SBIRS for short.
I wonder if
designed to provide a resilient space-based global missile warning capability against emerging missile and
No, not really, King.
Wide Field of View's primary mission is to explore future missile warning algorithms with data collected in space. The aft payload is a propulsive ESPA called the USSF-12 ring. This ring is a classified mission to demonstrate future technology for the Department of Defense.
For today's launch, ULA is using an Atlas V 541 rocket.
This is the 94th Atlas V launch and ULA's 151st launch. Produced in ULA's 1.6 million square foot production facility in Decatur, Alabama, the Atlas V Common Core booster is powered by an NPO Energobosch RD-180 engine.
NPO
Energobosch solid rocket boosters provide additional thrust at liftoff. The Centaur's second stage is powered by an Aerojet Rocketdyne RL-10 engine. The two spacecraft are encapsulated in a 5-meter diameter payload fairing produced by Beyond Gravity in Decatur, Alabama. These rocket components travel from Alabama to Cape Canaveral on ULA's rocket ship. Once in Florida,
I think
a
so,
series
Ren.
of events lead to today's countdown. We're here outside the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF, at Space Launch
Phil.
Complex 41, where we're about to roll the Atlas V on the Mobile Launch Platform, or MLP, to the pad.
I'm gonna move over
Before
there.
we do, let's take a look at how we stack this
I'm gonna
rocket.
move over here,
Our
you
process
understand?
began with lifting the 107-foot or 33-meter booster onto the MLP. Then the team mated the SRBs to the booster, followed by the transportation and lift of the Centaur into position atop the Atlas V booster. Finally, the payload fairing with both spacecraft already encapsulated was mated to the Atlas V rocket.
You know,
With the rocket fully
this side
assembled,
of
we
it.
now transition to the final countdown procedure by rolling it from the VIF to the pad. To complete this move, 6 components are used for the 20-minute trip, which spans about 1/3 of a mile. The MLP weighs approximately 2 million pounds, supports the rocket, and contains air conditioning, electrical, and commodities lines. The undercarriage
Saw
will
some
bear
birds
the weight
in
of
there.
the MLP in the rocket. The Atlas V rocket
Look at all
stands
them birds.
196 feet, or about 60 meters, and weighs 775,000
And cup
pounds,
holders.
or more than 350,000 kilograms fully fueled. With the rocket on the pad, the launch team transitions to fueling and other final preparations.
Upper level winds, huh?
We have an update on the weather. I'm going to hand it back to Will for a status.
Hey, Andrea. Just wanted to give a quick update because I just heard from my colleagues at the 45th Weather Squadron over at the Morrell Operations
Willie.
Center that the estimated clear time on that one rule that we've been monitoring, the attached anvil rule, is going to last a little longer. So we are going to have to eat into today's window. And those clouds that you see over the spaceport are remaining a little bit thicker than we originally anticipated. So that attached anvil cloud rule is not expected to clear until 6:15 p.m. local. Now we still anticipate going into a go situation here shortly thereafter. So we still have plenty of time within that 2-hour window to get today's launch off the ground. Back to you.
Willie.
ULA's
lightning
Atlas
is
V
no good.
541 rocket is launching both spacecraft to geosynchronous orbit.
Let's
Let's learn more about today's flight.
How am I feeling? I got my voice back, so that's good. I got my voice back. Don't need to... Here, let me try to talk normally. I don't need to change anything to try and speak in my speaking voice, so I got that back. I'm still... Dude, I'm coughing up the freaking rainbow. I'm puking rainbows over here. It's all kinds of just stuff that's just all in here that needs to be cleaned out. You know, I'm sure you wanted to hear that. Does ULA have anything reusable in sight? Of course, Hypersonic. Vulcan is reusable. Yeah, Vulcan. Ever since ULA scored a... What was it, guys? An $8 billion contract with Amazon to launch Project Hyper satellites? Yeah, they decided to do reusability. They're going to jettison the engine off of Vulcan, and it's going to parachute back down, and they're going to grab it with a helicopter. True story. I can breathe. Yep, I'm good. I can taste things. I'm all right. Just... How I like to describe it is there's a battlefield. This was a battlefield over the last couple of days. Don't worry, we won the battle. We have proclaimed victory! I will not be defeated by a tiny net. Anyway, but yeah, now I'm getting rid of all the collateral damage. Hey Meeps, what's going on? 6-monther. What's up, buddy? I don't know, Thomas. It depends on how good I feel at the end of the day here. Probably, maybe. I don't know. About a month, Doom. What are you getting rid of? All the crap left over from the COVID. Yep, there's adapter separation, and then there's the...
Centaur releases the USSF-12 ring spacecraft for with the Space Systems Command Innovation and
Chilling as usual. Sorry to hear you're sick. That's all right. I'll be all right. I'm a tough guy, I think. I mean, look, just. Nah, I'll be all right. Covered in Texas? No, New Mexico. Did you ever end up getting that house? The one with the garage? Oh yeah. You barely leave the house. How did you catch it? I was in New Mexico last week, dude. Where have you been? We're doing all right, Chief. Привет, Vasya. What's going on, buddy? What are the odds you'll do a high-powered rocketry stream? Very good. You're a Tho guy for you. And you say I'm sick. Yeah, it is what it is, dudes. I've just been lying in bed the whole day. Feel a lot better. I'm probably gonna go just to make sure that I'm good for at least a normal stream for me tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go after this thing launches or scrubs. How much land did you get? About an acre. Yeah. Perhaps you have ARV. I don't know what that is. Today is Blame Canada Day. Is it Canadian? Huh. Oh yeah, it is Canada Day. Oh yeah, you just decided to put your Independence Day a couple of days in front of us. Is that how it is? We'll call this Independence Day light. Is Independence Day already? No, that's the 5th, Ilya. The 5th or 4th. 5th is my birthday. 4th, sorry.
ULA's Vulcan rocket is nearing its first.
How are you? I'm all right.
While we're waiting for a new T0, let's get an update on Vulcan.
Still not 100% there.
Vulcan Centaur production begins with aluminum sheets, expertly machined to remove more than 2/3 of the weight, resulting in the structurally strong yet lightweight orthogrid panels that form Vulcan's propellant tanks. The panels are then bump pressed to form the curves required to complete the tanks. At the same time, rings, adapters, and other structural components are precision milled. Next, the aluminum domes, panels, and other structures that form Vulcan's propellant tanks are first cleaned.
Hey, Torg.
And
Tier 2 22 monthly sub.
even surface, and then anodized to harden.
You're lucky I like you, Hypersonic.
Following an ultrasonic inspection, 5 completed panels
Bama.
of liquefied natural gas, or LNG tank, are assembled and joined together using friction stir welding. Unlike traditional welding, where filler material is used to join components, friction stir welding uses a head to stir the metal of the
I've
two
seen it
panels
already,
together
Doom.
as it moves down the seam. The resulting joint is stronger and produces a
Vulcan.
lighter, higher performing tank. The process is
And in general, how long will the broadcast go to launch? Weather. It's in a hold right now.
Circumferential friction stir welding is then used to join the 2 propellant tanks that comprise the Vulcan booster.
Yeah, baby.
As production continues on the
Watch
booster
this.
stage,
Watch the stainless.
stretch-forming gore panels for the Centaur second stage propellant tanks.
That's how they make the bulkheads.
The stainless steel gore panels are welded together to create the propellant tank domes. The gore
Upper level winds aren't
several highly
cooperating.
Specialized welding stations
Dinkle.
in the Centaur production process. Just down the aisle, Centaur 5's massive intermediate bulkhead is mated to its ultra-thin tank. Once both propellant tanks are welded, they're mated together to create the Centaur 5 second stage. Once the propellant tanks are joined, the 5.4-meter booster is sprayed with foam insulation before moving to final assembly. Twin BE-4 engines are hot-fired and then mated to Vulcan's thrust structure. With production complete, the booster makes its way
Hello.
to ULA's rocket ship for its journey to the launch site.
I'm alright, Ernock. I feel better. I'm
Cape
probably
Canaveral
gonna
Space
need
Launch
another night of
Complex
sleep, but I'm
41,
definitely
the water
better
suppression
than I was.
system has been upgraded and tested, along with other modifications, including new, larger fuel storage tanks. In the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF, platforms have been modified to accommodate the larger Vulcan rocket. Following the 8-day journey to Cape Canaveral, the booster is offloaded and transported to the VIF, where it is lifted onto the newly constructed Vulcan launch platform, or VLP.
Ooh.
The first Vulcan booster then travels a third of a mile.
What would
to
you
the
call
pad
it,
for
Lewis?
testing, followed by 2.7 miles to the Spaceflight Processing Operations Center,
Miles.
or SPOC, for additional testing. This launch site testing culminates with another trip to the pad, where the LOX and LNG tanks will be filled and chilled to flight levels.
Filled and chilled. Burb. No. Solar, I don't. Alright, so we're in a little bit of a weather hold right now.
The Space Force provided the artwork we see
The
on
Space
today's
Force provided the
table.
artwork.
Today's artwork includes projection of the world in the center as viewed from space, reflecting a wide field of view as seen through a wasp's eyes. Additionally, there are 2 black stars inside a red plume to represent the 2 space vehicle programs.
So, yeah, upper level wind weather hold for the next 15 minutes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on here. It says it looks like a wasp's eye, Jason, I think is what they just said. I know there is W, but I don't want to push it. However many they're contracted, Boxy. Yep, we're just in a hold here, guys. Oh.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Go to throttle up from Jim. 11-monther. Thanks, man. The zoom. This is a shot from the Vehicle Integration Facility, or VIF for short, at Slick 41 here. Looking at the Atlas, which is fully fueled. The Atlas is pretty much good to go from what I understand. They're just waiting on the weather. Yeah, see the tall building on the right? That's where that other camera is from. Whatever one makes you happy, Nerd. That's what it is. Whatever one makes you happy, pal. No, Nick. Nothing yet. Is this the pad where the building moves, not the rocket? No. The Atlas is on a mobile launcher. If you look, Atlas is on a mobile launcher, and they roll the mobile launcher on train tracks to the pad in the vertical configuration. Went VIF at 39, I don't know, but I'm definitely seeing something over there at 39. That looks like a Lever 11350 right there. That's a shot on Playa Linda Beach. This is a shot looking back at up the flame trench of Slick 41 here. Yeah, the third segment was put in yesterday. Robot. Mm-hmm.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I don't know what that means, Moto, but alright. You're in a thunderstorm right now, Linus, okay. FX, 33-month resub, good evening, how are you? When's the launch happening at? The launch window opened 2 minutes ago and will go for another 2 hours, or for basically another hour and 57 minutes. They're in a hold right now because there's those things, Slayer. See those really, really deep colored clouds? These ones right here. And then see that, kind of how that one fades in. There's some thunderstorms that are in the area but are clearing out, but there's also a lot of winds. There's upper level winds that they're trying to figure out as well. Those should be cleared in about 10 minutes per the last weather report. Something like that, Buck, yeah. I hope so, GSF. I hope so. Latest tweet from ULA is that they remain in a hold. They remain in a hold at T-minus 4 minutes. A new target launch time has not been determined just yet. Could they not just use a smaller rocket or weather balloon to figure out those upper level winds?
As we learned in the earlier video, a series of weather balloons has been launched throughout the countdown from the range weather station at the Cape to collect measurements of wind speeds and directions to determine if conditions aloft violate the controllability or structural loads on the rocket during ascent. The balloon data is transmitted to ULA engineers in Denver to select a steering profile that minimizes launch vehicle responses. ULA builds Atlas, Delta, and now Vulcan rockets in a 1.6 million square foot facility in Decatur, Alabama. Here's a look inside.
All right.
Successfully launching missions to every planet in the solar system, in addition to critical national security, science, weather, and communication satellites, ULA has established a long-standing industry reputation for reliability and orbit accuracy. While our rockets lift off from launch pads in Florida and California, the journey to space begins in Decatur, Alabama. At approximately 1.6 million square feet, ULA's production facility is an always-on workhorse where technicians simultaneously build components for Atlas V, Delta IV Heavy, and Vulcan Centaur rockets. Booster production begins when large aluminum plate stock is loaded into one of 4 double gantry skin milling machines, where aluminum is milled into patterns designed for building tanks and other components. This process helps reduce the original weight of each panel by 70%, while maintaining approximately 75% of the original material strength. After machining, skin panels are transported to the brake form and bump pressed into the precise curved radius required to create fuel tank barrel sections. Components made from aluminum require anodization to protect from corrosion. For this requirement, certain components, like skin panels, are first given a high-pressure wash and then dipped in a series of chemicals to complete the sealing process.
I'm alright, someone. Voice is good today, but yeah, I still don't have the lung capacity that I usually do. Probably after this, I'm probably going to take another night off. I don't like taking this much time off, but
Delta IV and Vulcan
really have a
Centaur
choice.
tanks are comprised of 5 skin panels, while 4 skin panels form the Atlas V tanks. Friction stir welding is a unique process accomplished by a pin tool, which applies frictional heat and stirring of the parent material to form a weld.
yeah, progress is
This
being made.
process
Nick.
only uses friction as the heat source and has no filler material, making an extremely strong welded joint.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Completed aluminum barrel sections then move to the circumferential friction stir welder, where domes are welded to each end, completing the first stage fuel tanks. After pressure testing, which verifies the integrity of the welds, the next stop for booster fuel tanks is the spray-on foam insulation booth, or SOFI.
Toby!
This is where completed tanks are primed, then insulated to protect from the acoustics that occur at liftoff. Tanks then move to final assembly, where components like wiring and engines are added. In addition to the first stage, or booster stage, ULA's second stages are also built into Decatur. The
It's
factory
alright,
has recently
someone.
undergone a major reconfiguration, resulting in a new state-of-the-art Centaur 5 production line to increase the speed at which Vulcan Centaur second stages are built, assembled, and tested. The Centaur upper stages for Atlas and Vulcan are built using a thin stainless steel structure, making it the most efficient upper stage currently in use. To
Discovery,
create
go
the
at throttle up.
domes or bulkheads for Centaur's 2 tanks, gores
Well.
or pie-shaped sheets are welded together.
They don't want you seeing what that
Bulkheads
thing
and tank
is.
skins are then assembled
And it-
using a combination of spot and seam welds. Spray-on foam insulation, or SOFI, is then applied to the Centaur tank to provide thermal protection for the cryogenic fuels. Centaur's tanks are known as pressure-stabilized tanks because 90% of their weight and structure at launch is from the mass of the fuel and oxidizer loading prior to
Cool.
liftoff. The Centaur tank then moves to final assembly, where engines,
Nice,
avionics,
Tord, there you go.
pneumatic, and propulsion systems are installed. At the end of the production journey, all systems on both the booster and Centaur are fully tested, and the stages are prepared for transport to the launch site. With testing and transport preparations
Bird.
completed, Atlas V, Delta IV Heavy, and Vulcan Centaur rockets exit the factory and roll about a mile down the road to a dock on the Tennessee River. Once loaded onto the
Bird.
RS rocket ship, ULA's specially designed cargo boat, the rockets begin the 8-day trip to Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida, or the 23-day trip to Vandenberg Space Force Base, California.
Bindenberg. Alright, let's see if we got an update. It's my boat.
The launch team continues to track both issues. Anvil clouds remain unacceptable for flight, and the most recent upper-level wind reading was red. Let's get an update from Will Ulrich.
Willie!
Thanks, Andrea. The waiting game continues. First, let's talk about the attached anvil rule. Live look at satellite imagery right now continues to show upper-level clouds streaming over the spaceport. And those clouds, although they are thinning, they remain situated directly over Complex 41, so they're taking a little bit more time to get out of the way.
Ah, there
With
you
that
go,
in
weather
mind,
guy.
My colleagues at the 45th Weather Squadron have updated the estimated clear time to no earlier than 6:30 p.m. this evening, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Additionally, upper-level winds are currently unfavorable, and it's not that those winds are particularly strong, because at this time of year, winds are typically very light from the surface all the way through the upper portions of the atmosphere, but they are variable. So flight teams in Denver and with other units inside of United Launch Alliance are keeping a close eye on the changeability or variability
Yeah, about 20
of
minutes
those
of us,
wind speeds to ensure that the rocket makes the correct adjustments as it moves up into the atmosphere. So with that said, we're not going to go any earlier than 6:30 p.m., but the general trend is our friend as those clouds continue to thin and move out of the way. We'll provide an update as soon as I have one.
Hey, Casper.
Back to you, Andrea.
Thank you. The one you got your eyes on didn't look too bad either.
Thanks, Will. This May, ULA lifted the Boeing Starliner
General
capsule
Trend
for NASA, marking our
is your friend.
150th launch since our doors opened in 2006. Let's take a look at some highlights commemorating this milestone.
General Trend! Well, hello there, friend.
150 consecutive launches. 150 consecutive successes. At ULA, 100% mission success is an achievement that both defines us and motivates us. As the industry's most experienced launch service provider, we continue to provide world-leading reliability, schedule confidence, and mission optimization. And we're proud to lead the way in space to expand what's possible on Earth.
Yeah.
Our pride is built on the successful launch of 93 national security missions, 18 GPS satellites, 5 trips to Mars, 18 commercial missions, and 39 science and exploration missions. From low Earth to the most complex geosynchronous orbits and interplanetary trajectories, ULA is the only launch provider capable of delivering any orbit, anytime. 30 Delta IIs, 23 Delta IVs, 12 Delta IV Heavies, 85 Atlas Vs, 150 flights using
down the
our
weather,
trusted
Dev.
fleet of rockets built to the evolving needs of each and every customer. We've traveled 2,500,000 miles and delivered more than 1,400,000 pounds to orbit. Deliveries that have improved the way we live and work and provided a deeper understanding of our universe. All rockets are not created equal, and when it absolutely must get to space safely and on time, customers choose ULA. 150 glorious liftoffs, 100% mission success.
Yay. Something like that. Yeah, but hey, Bill, what's going on? Thailand. Oh, yeah. That's... I'd be surprised if this thing... I'd be surprised if it clears up, guys. It doesn't look like it's clearing too much, but what do I know? Yeah, rocket scientist, I saw it. These clouds and the winds are no good. Hey, Tan, what's going on? Just joined. Plan on going until the Virgin Orbit launch? No. No, not at all. We're waiting. We're in a little bit of a weather hold, guys. The next update should be at about half past the hour right now. Yeah, they have Anvil cloud rules, so it's thunderstorms again. And upper level winds right now are giving us 2 reds on the board. So kind of sitting here and waiting for a second. The rocket is fully fueled. It is ready to go. All the payloads and everything on the rocket are good as far as we can tell. We being you and me on stream, it's not like I'm sitting in mission control or anything. Those guys are, though. Jesus, it's not green. No. Not green at all, mate. Tory tweet. The USSF weather officer is predicting a hole in the storm formation at 16:15, 16:30. We'll drive for that. Okay. Meanwhile, the winds aloft are bad. Atlas is able to accept a real-time trajectory update on the pad. Denver's working on it. Think calm, happy weather thoughts. Think happy little clouds. 1650. It's got to be 1850. Yeah, Pants, I agree. That or it's in Colorado time. Time zones, how do they work? Oh, with magnets. The real question is, what's 1615 Mountain Time? That's 6. Geo. Direct to Geo. Jonas. Hey, Rocket Guy. Streams where the missile flew at like 9 kilometers. Are they training? What? No, those are student rockets. It is Venom, yeah. Linux, what's going on? Popped in for the few minutes. What are the chances for launch? We're waiting on the weather again, Linux.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Phil. 61 months. Burb. Probability it goes 50-50 right now. Last time I checked it. It's a 541, Jim.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Victory with the 52. Thank you. Where's this camera? Look, you can see 41, 40, and 37. 37's over there. Those 4 towers in the background right there are Slick 40. And these 3 towers, there should be a 4th one right here. You can kind of see it behind the UI. That's Slick 41. Slick 37B, Slick 40, Slick 41. 3 pads in one shot. 541 means 1 SRB. No. 4 SRMs kick. Is this from the VAB? No. The angle of this looks like it's on the crawlerway. 39A viewing gantry, if I had to guess. There is a X3X type signer. Who launches off 37B? Delta 4. The 1 indicates 1 Centaur engine.
We often get questions about the various clock displays visible in the Launch Control Center. Most notably, the T count and the L count clocks.
Lightning.
T simply stands for time, and L for launch. The T count is a scripted time until T0. All of the launch vehicle countdown events are procedurally sequenced to T time. The L count is the total amount of time until launch, which is the T time plus the built-in holds. Built-in holds are placed at strategic points in the countdown. For instance, before cryogenic loading and before the terminal count and liftoff, and are contingency time that the team can use if needed to catch up in the event of a delay in countdown activities.
Lightning and winds, Aces. Where the heck have you been all week? I have COVID, and I can't talk for long periods of time before I run out of breath. Public. Where the heck have you been? Is this solid or liquid? It's got solid rocket motors on the sides, liquid fuel core stage.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey. What's going on, Senshai? Alright, Linux. 4 attachable SRMs, Black Horse. I'm better since yesterday, Hando. Yeah, I don't need to try and speak with my speaking voice. I can just talk to you normally, and it's totally fine. So my voice is back. So we're making progress. I can't really talk for long periods of time before I just start getting really sweaty. Like, seriously, like, I'm sweating my balls off right now. It's freezing in here. I'm like, that's not good. But I am making progress. I'm getting better. Yeah, this stuff, this thing lingers, man. It's really annoying. Yeah, but we're getting better. I'll try to go for a full duration stream tomorrow. Yeah, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Jonas, I did. Pretty nasty variant, whatever I got. Yeah, XTC, it is what it is. You know, I tried to jump back in and spring back to work, you know, after a couple of days, and it didn't work. You just have to kind of wait it out. But I'm a patient guy. It just kind of sucks, man. I don't like not being here. You know? Brimo's fine. Linux, yep. What is a Funcom game you can play? It's called Shut the Stream Off and Watch the Back of My Eyelids. It's a really Funcom game. Spark's like, I love that game. Spark's like, I love that.
LC, LD,
oh.
Channel 1. Go, LD. LC, load contingency adjust file, adjust _AB094 _07, SDLCRC 511 Delta.
I don't know what that means.
Roger, AB094 _07 511 Delta. Flight control, LC. Go ahead, this flight control. We have a go to load contingency file, adjust AB094 _07.
They're upgrading the avionics on the pad.
511 Delta. Network.
Yep. Yeah, Reaper. Yep. Roger, what's our vector, Victor? Check the clearance, Clarence.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hang on 1 minute. 1 minute. There we go. Okay, there we go. Quick, shoot the tanks. Wait, what? No. Creeper, what's up, man? 37-month tier 2. Oh. Nice. Burb. They're holding on the weather right now, Creeper. They're in a planned hold. Yep. Oh?
We have another update on the weather. I'm going to hand it back to Will Ulrich for status.
Feed me, Willie.
Hey, Andrea. It's like we keep pushing the snooze button, waiting for tonight's launch, right? I have a little bit of an update from my colleagues over at the 45th Weather Squadron. Satellite imagery continues to show that anvil cloud sitting overhead, and this live shot that you see right now shows that anvil cloud perfectly over Complex 41, and unfortunately it just doesn't want to move. Now, originally we were evaluating that cloud under the attached anvil cloud rule because it was attached to its parent thunderstorm.
See?
That thunderstorm has since dissipated, so we're now evaluating it under the detached anvil cloud rule. Unfortunately, that doesn't really change the status that we're in. We are in a no-go status for the detached anvil rule with an updated clear time of 6:45 p.m. So we still have at least another 15-20 minutes to go before we can start thinking about setting that new T0. So for now, I'll throw it back to you in the studio.
Damn it! Andrea? Not yet, Space. Not yet. We're holding on. They said they're going to evaluate again in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Detached
Wondering
anvil.
how you can see today's Atlas V launch of USSF-12? This visibility map shows when and where your best chances are to see the rocket as it launches from Cape Canaveral.
The window's for another hour and a half. Fly a Linder. Yeah, did you see the tower sections? Pretty cool, huh? Launch conductor Scott Bonner reports that we are tracking no hardware issues and the team should maintain system readiness. Yeah, there you go, Creeper. Yeah, pretty much. You don't want to go flying into a thunderstorm. That's probably not good. How many boosters are on this one? This is an Atlas 541, David. So we have a 5-meter fairing, internal Centaur inside of the fairing with the forward load reactor, meaning that the second stage is inside of the fairing as well as the payload. Then we have 4. So 5 is the fairing. 4 is the amount of boosters we have. We have 4 attachable SRMs right there, 2 on each side. And then 1 indicates that there's 1 RL-10 in the upper stage. 541 configuration, the Dominator. Fun fact, this is the last time you're ever going to see this version of Atlas V fly. There are no 541 missions left. It's a shame because the Dominator is one of my favorites. I think that is the most aesthetic one. As long as they set SCE to auxiliary, they should be okay. I don't know why they just didn't do that. Oh, snap. It's, yeah, very strange. Very strange to me. I mean, dude, when I go to launch in KSP, I make sure that my SCE is set to Hawks. I didn't have the switch flipped. Well, there's your problem. Well, there's your problem right there. But yeah, we're waiting, just kind of in a hold here. All will be fine now. What is replacing Atlas V? Vulcan, burbs. Ooh, yummy. A dang anvil cloud is parked on top of the pad. Everybody take a deep breath, face east, and exhale. When is Vulcan going to be ready to fly, though? End of the year. Upper level winds are green. Latest weather balloon has determined winds are within limits and persistent to enable liftoff of the Atlas V rocket. All right. Okay, just waiting on that damn anvil cloud. There's a thunderstorm hovering over the pad. Well, technically a detached anvil cloud. It's a cloud that looks like an anvil that's split in half. I'm not kidding. Engineers aren't good at naming stuff. There's nothing cryptic about it. It's just like rocket science. What does a detached anvil cloud look like? It looks like an anvil that's split in half. What? It's not rocket science. Can you tell I'm getting better? That's how you know I'm getting better, because I'm making terrible jokes again. So bad. It's so bad. Detached from what? Your upper anvilus is attached to your dorsum. It's boring. Why don't they just tell the cloud to move? I mean, they could ask. Want me to ask? Hey! Hey! You're making us look stupid, cloud jerk! Get out of the way! What? Maybe it might have worked. Who knows? Old man yells at clouds. Damn you, clouds! Oh, dang it, Bobby! Can we shoot something? Yeah, we gotta shoot the clouds so they disperse. It's the American way. It's almost the 4th of July. Let's go! Well, it didn't hurt. Boom, swatty-oosh. Is that helping? It couldn't hurt. Have you tried nuking the cloud? To be fair, it hurt a little inside. Get the 8.8 out? We don't use those. Man, we don't use those. Old man yells at cloud. The Space Force requested support from a WB-57 aircraft to enable debris characterization if there were to be an anomalous condition in flight. That's normal operations. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not at all. Whereas like, mate, there's no holidays in July. Yeah, you're damn right there is, mate. You're damn right there is. You're damn right there is. Look, just because you lost that stupid battle at the bridge, all right? Yeah, that bridge is really close to my house. Yeah, why don't we just make a law that just bans clouds over the launch site? I'm a genius. You're right, there's Canada Day. Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, that would work, Iron, yeah. You only won because our spawn room was 3,000 miles away. Why does that make sense? Why does that make so much sense? I understand. Shut up, but I understand, but also, what the hell? That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Yeah, yes, you did lose. Yeah, you just acknowledged it. Oh boy. How you feeling? You sound better? I'm getting there, Blue.
Discovery,
I'm getting there. I'm still trying to chill, you know? Hey, human. Greetings, fellow humans. What's going on? So we're in a weather hold here for about another 10 minutes. We'll get an update in about 10 minutes. Burn down. Why would you want to do that? Shame. The rocket is in a state of operational readiness, but they're waiting on the weather. There's thunderstorms. He's out of line, but he's right. It's true. I guess that makes sense. The missile knows where it is because it hasn't freaking moved. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Hans Luft. What's up, buddy? Come on now. You guys like Atlas family of rockets? The first Atlas rockets were okay. But when Atlas Centaur came out in '63, it really came into its own commercially and defensively. What? In 2002, in 2002, Lockheed released this, Atlas V, their most accomplished rocket to date. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, don't mind me. I'm still sick. The only rocket with a flawless flight record.
While we are still waiting to clear the Anvil cloud rule, a new upper-level wind profile has been loaded into the Atlas V rocket's onboard computer, and the upper-level winds are now green. I'm going to toss it back to Will Ulrich for more details on the weather.
Willie!
Hey, Andrea, that's great news about the upper-level winds. Now, that means all that we're left with is continuing to monitor the detached anvil rule, and I wanted to bring up GR Analyst, which is one of the tools that we use at the 45th Weather Squadron to evaluate current radar imagery. Now, what you're looking at right now is called radar reflectivity, and it shows the cloud of concern at approximately 20 to 30,000 feet. This is that detached anvil cloud rule that my colleagues at the 45th Weather Squadron are actively evaluating. Now, the good news is
41 is right there.
That cumulus cloud is detached anvil cloud is beginning to dissipate. If I time, notice how that cloud is gradually thinning out, and that's what we need to look for in order to get us out of that detached anvil rule. So I do expect an update from my colleagues here soon. We may be able to clear that detached anvil rule for much longer, and really, if we're green on upper level winds, we're not really concerned with anything else at this point, and I do think we have a shot to launch
Hey,
later
Gisono.
today. Back to you.
What's going on? Alright, well, they're gonna get out of the way of one of the anvil, or they're gonna get one of the reds off of the board there with the anvil clouds. Just waiting on those winds. Well, we're waiting. I'll be alright, dead crew. We're waiting. Can you link something? Maybe it will make the clouds go away. Get perms from the moderators first. Clear time for the Anvil clouds to slip to 7 p.m. Yep. All right, we got another 20 minutes. Meg, can you give Baz link perms, please? Jam's got it. So once again, we're in a little bit of a weather hold, but it looks like the weather is clearing up. The next update for the weather should be in about 15 minutes. Maybe 50% volume. Okay. No. Oh. Nice. Yep. Yep. Can't play that. It'll mute the VOD. But I know what that is. I've seen it. Can you name the objects around the rocket? Well, these are lightning towers here. That's the LOX tank right there. Liquid oxygen is here, and then over there, I think that's the paraphernalia for liquid methane for Vulcan, and then hydrogen is over here. We got a tweet from Tori Bruno. What's he saying? New trajectory loaded and verified. Okie dokie. So once again, we're currently in a hold here. The launch window does go until 8. So we got about an hour and 15 minutes. But our next weather update will be at the top of the hour, about 15 minutes from now. Right now, Atlas V is currently holding for a detached anvil cloud rule, meaning thunderstorms, and upper level winds. Both of those conditions should be able to be cleaned up within the next 15, 20 minutes. Should be, but weather. Since when can weathermen predict the weather, let alone the future? I'm trying not to talk much, trying not to overdo it.
We have another weather update. I'm going to send it over again to Will Ulrich.
All right, Will's getting a lot of screen time
Hey,
today.
Andrea. Just heard from my colleagues at the 45th Weather Squadron over at the Morale Operations Center, and we are extending the no-go status on that detached anvil cloud rule for a little bit longer. And one of those reasons is because that cloud, though it is dissipating, it's still above the limit that we monitor to ensure that cloud does not pose a threat for rocket-triggered lightning. So the clouds that you see there over Cape Canaveral are moving in the correct direction. They are slowly moving from the west to the east, and even though they're moving very slowly, they're also dissipating at the same time. So long as we continue to see that trend, and we still have about an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minutes left in the window, the trend is our friend, and we're hopeful
trend
that
is your friend.
Get out of here in time so that we can launch just after 7 p.m. I'll provide an update as soon as I hear. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Willie.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
I agree, Lulin. Yep. Trend is your friend. Chat, remember that. I'm looking around for ULA updates on my phone while we're waiting. I could probably just do it on the computer, but my phone is closer to than the computer is, so. It's working. Take another deep breath. Genuine question, what do they measure in clouds? Like density, static charge? What's the actual obstacle? Precipitation, charge probably has something to do with it. I'm not a meteorologist. Weather guy, do you know? What are the parameters for tracking an anvil cloud? There are always exceptions to the trends rule, however, not usually in weather. Noted. I don't know what their parameters are, no. Yeah, neither do I. I'd like to know, yeah, me too. It's not like the rear wheel fell out. What does that have to do with anything? Man? The hell is this? Oh, hold on. Are we there yet? No! I heard somebody key a mic. Who's Mike? Don't ask.
LC, LD, Channel 1.
Go LD.
Please coordinate a new T0 with a range 231500Z.
Roger, 231500Z.
25 minutes.
ALC, LC.
Go ahead.
Reset the clock for 231500T0.
Roger.
RC, LC.
RC on 1.
Please coordinate with the range, new T0, 23:15:000.
No, Creeper, I
Roger.
didn't. We closed Golden Goose. Yeah, moving a month, give or take. Why is it called Zulu and not UTC? Zulu is military coordinated time. It's just the name. It's just the military name, the NATO military name for UTC, Boxy.
LC countdown clock has been set for new T0 of 23:15 Zulu. Clock is at L-23 and counting.
Well, they're setting a T0.
Our team will pick up at L-16. CT1 start giving us a time max at that time.
LC, RC, net 1.
Go RC.
The range has approved our new T0 time of 23.
Okay, they wouldn't be setting a new T0 if they weren't
Roger.
ready to go.
T0 is approved. And we are counting.
About Black Horse, yep.
L-23 minutes.
Okay. And L time has been coordinated between the launch director and the mission director, indicating that they're going to try to launch this thing in about 20 minutes, give or take. Yeah, Luizo, it's going to be fun.
As you just heard, a new T0
Sounds
has
like
been
fun,
set
Creeper.
for 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm getting there, Grayson. I'm only gonna do the launch today, and then I'm gonna go back to bed. To be 100% honest with you, dude. I got my voice back, which is good.
Discovery,
I
go
just
and
don't have the... I can't talk for long periods of time before I have to stop. All right, Jack. Hey, Inverter, 62-month resub. Lunchtime, baby. I'm hungry. You know what? I'm going to text Break. We need pizza. You just rest and take care. I'm trying. So we're currently in a weather hold, but a new T0 has been established. So we're about 20 minutes out, give or take. So we'll see.
Minus 21 minutes.
See? Well, 21 minutes, not 20.
We've created a short tour of our launch locations
Nice,
here in
LeBron.
Cape Canaveral, Florida. Let's take a look around.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Missions launch to every planet in the solar system, as well as critical national security, science, weather, and communication satellites. ULA has established a long-standing reputation for reliability and orbit accuracy in the space launch industry. At our launch site in Cape Canaveral, Florida, the story begins with ULA's Atlas and Delta rockets arriving on the RS rocket ship. The rocket ship is a specially designed cargo ship used to transport rockets from ULA's 1.6 million square foot production facility in Decatur, Alabama. Rocket ship is large enough to carry a complete Delta IV heavy rocket. That's 3 boosters, a second stage, and a payload.
My boat.
Once loaded, rocket ship departs ULA's dock and travels through the Tennessee River, then onto the Ohio and Mississippi rivers, then goes out into the Gulf of Mexico. From there, the ship travels through the Atlantic Ocean, around the southern tip of Florida, and north to Port Canaveral. Rocket ship was designed with several features to ensure successful delivery, including the ability to adjust its draft for shallow water and rudderless steering, which minimizes the need to tug. Atlas V boosters are transported from the ship to the high bay in the Atlas Spaceflight Operations Center, or ASOC, for final preparations. Delta IV boosters are moved to the Horizontal Integration Facility, or HIF, where they are mated together to form the Delta IV heavy configuration. With final checks completed, the boosters are transported to the launch pad for Launch Vehicle on Stand, or LVOS. The 107-foot-long Atlas V boosters are brought to Space Launch Complex 41 and are hoisted into a vertical position using a crane placed onto the Mobile Launch Platform, or MLP, in the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF. Delta IV heavy rockets are raised vertically by a fixed pad erector at Space Launch Complex 37. The fixed pad erector uses a single hydraulic piston to rotate the boosters 90 degrees inside the Mobile Service Tower, or MST. LVOS is followed by the addition of solid rocket boosters, and then the second stage. Next comes Wet Dress Rehearsal, or WDR, which is an end-to-end launch simulation, from fueling through spacecraft separation. Meanwhile, the ULA team is also working simultaneously to help the customer encapsulate their payload into the rocket's payload fairing. The encapsulated payload fairing is the final piece to be mated to the rocket. With the rocket stack complete, the spacecraft team tests all of the interfaces with the rocket and the launch pad. Once the rockets are completely assembled, the final launch tests begin. For Atlas V launch countdown begins with moving the rocket from the VIF to the pad. The quarter-mile trip uses 6 components to complete the 20-minute trip, weighing in at about 2 million
T0 has been established in about
supports the rocket and contains
19 minutes,
Bravo. Electrical and commodities,
see what
while
it
the
does.
undercarriages bear the weight of the MLP and rocket. 2 rail cars lead the move, with the payload van providing communication to the payload, while the ground van houses the ground support for the rocket. And At the rear of the convoy, the portable environmental control system provides air
Neat,
conditioning
Creeper.
to the payload and rocket. Finally, track mobiles provide the power to move the 3.5 million pound convoy. For Delta IV heavy rockets, the process looks quite different. Approximately
straightforward to
9
me,
hours
Ono.
before T0, final preparations begin as 40 hydraulic cylinders at pressures nearing 3,500 psi move the 10 million pound MST. It's first raised 8 inches and then rolled back. Delta uses a carriage transporter system, traveling at about a quarter mile per hour. It takes about 25 minutes to roll the MST to its launch position, 345 feet north of the Delta IV rocket. The Delta IV rocket stands 217 feet tall, or about 21 stories, and weighs more than 900,000 pounds fully fueled. On the day of launch, nearly
It's a nice
30
rocket.
engineers and managers are polled for system status and readiness to proceed.
Status check to proceed with terminal count, Atlas Systems, propulsion.
This is the final status check before launch for all Atlas and Delta vehicle systems, ground systems, the
There's
spacecraft,
2?
and the U.S. Air
It's 2 or
Force
3,
Eastern
Senator.
Range. The vehicle system readiness poll includes electrical systems, hydraulics, pneumatics, propulsion systems, flight
Anomaly
control,
G.
and propellants.
Range coordinator. Clear to proceed. Launch director.
Launch vehicle
This is just a
ready to
replay,
launch.
guys.
Mission director.
This is the mission director. You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count.
If the rocket is ready for flight and the weather is within the launch commit criteria,
Huh.
then polling will be completed and the team will have given the go for launch.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
This is a replay.
4, 3.
Just in case anybody's popping in, this is
1.
just a replay.
Ignition. And liftoff.
But that's what it should
United
look like.
Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
For a typical Atlas V flight,
Now,
the main engine
looking at
and
now.
solid rocket boosters ignite to lift the rocket off the pad. Shortly after liftoff, the rocket begins a pitchover to attain the proper flight path, minimizing the dynamic pressure the vehicle experiences during flight. Within the first few minutes of flight, the vehicle reaches Mach 1. The
Hey,
stop
see?
sound,
Oh,
followed by
hello.
jettison of the
What's
solid
up,
rocket
buddy?
boosters. About 4 minutes later, propellant levels deplete and the booster engine shuts down, followed by release of the booster stage. At various times in flight, depending on the mission, the vehicle jettisons its payload fairing. From there, the second stage will continue carrying the spacecraft towards its destination with planned engine starts and stops.
It's just an explosive
Finally,
bolt signer.
Centaur will release the spacecraft in its target orbit to continue its journey.
How you been, AC? Did you see that I went to Spaceport America Cup last week, dude? A lot of high-powered rockets. I mean, they're no black brands, but they went.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Somebody gifted him. No, come on. Who's playing games? You recovered from that? No, not really. I ain't even mad. That's really funny.
We have an update on the weather. I'm going to hand it back to Will Ulrich for a status.
Hey, Andrea.
Right, Ted? I know.
Really good news. Those clouds that you see on satellite behind me continue to thin, and I just got word from the meteorologists over at the 45th Weather Squadron that we are now go for the detached anvil rule, and that means we're go on all lightning launch commit criteria.
Bingo.
So good news, we are progressing well towards that 7 p.m. liftoff time. All things are go from weather. Back to you guys.
What's up, Ted? How you doing, buddy? All right.
LD, Channel 1.
Go LD.
Roger. Load contingency adjust file. Adjust underscore AB094 underscore 08 with an SBL CRC of 97 Charlie Charlie.
Roger. Flight control LC.
Nice, Ted. There you go.
Go ahead, this flight control. Load contingency file adjust AB094 underscore 08 with STL CRC 97 Charlie Charlie. Roger and work.
Minus 13 minutes.
And for a team, we will hold off on IFPS transfer to L at on that at L minus 9 minutes.
SF-12, Paper City. So there's a classified payload, and then there's a wide field of view satellite payload. There's two payloads kind of stacked on top of each other, but we don't know what SF-12 is. It's called an experimental ring spacecraft. And that's all she wrote. I don't know what that means. Lung's doing any better. I got my voice back, Orion, but I'm still not like 100% good. I'm gonna cover this, and then I'm gonna probably take the rest of the night off. A Dyson satellite? That's a sphere, not a ring. Wait a minute. I can't do this because my lungs don't work. Oh, it's a ring satellite.
Dedicated to Dr. Vladimir Shabanov, Karl Threlkild, and Rochelle Wunderlich. Dr. Vladimir Shabanov was directly involved in the creation and modifications of rocket engines for much of the latter Soviet period, and has long been considered the father of the RD-180 engine, having directly supervised its design. This engine has successfully launched all Atlas III and Atlas V rockets, and USSF-12 is the 100th launch of an RD-180 powered booster. Not only was he an accomplished scientist, he was also well respected by his colleagues at ULA and by our customers. His personable nature made him approachable by all who interacted with him. Karl Threlkild began his career at the Rocket Ranch in September 1997. A veteran of the Delta II, Delta IV, Atlas V, and Vulcan programs, Karl was an inspector responsible for the integrity of our products, the safety of our team, and ultimately the satisfaction of our customers. Karl always demonstrated professionalism tinged with wit that kept all smiling with his jokes and antics. He never met a stranger. Rochelle Wunderlich began her aerospace career with Pratt & Whitney in 2001. She recently celebrated her 19th year of combined service with Pratt & Whitney and Aerojet Rocketdyne. Rochelle was an outstanding engineer that understood her products and her team. Her efforts at maintaining supplier quality were key to keeping the RL-10 flying successfully for nearly 2 decades. Earlier this year, she posthumously received the Palm Beach County Engineering Council Merit Award. She remains loved by many and will be deeply missed by all who knew her.
All communications switch to channel 1. All personnel and visitors remain in present position until launch. Maintain operational silence in the LCC.
Should be coming up on 10 minutes, guys.
Terminal count briefing. If a condition exceeds a launch constraint anytime after a terminal count status check, the observer shall announce hold on channel 1. Identify their station.
Okay.
And briefly state the reason for the hold. Flight control, perform launch on time verification.
10 minutes, someone.
Flight control. Roger. OSM, place SRB ignition SMA switch in enable position.
LC to flight control.
Go.
Contingency file adjust underscore AV094 underscore 08 with SDLCRC 97 Charlie Charlie has been verified and loaded into NINCA.
Roger. LDLC.
LD on channel 1.
Permission to enable IFPS.
Roger, proceed. L-minus 9 minutes.
Flight control, enable WFOV IFPS report complete.
Payload configuration, I think. Wide field of view. WFOV.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. The team is still working towards a 7:15 p.m. Eastern launch.
9 minutes.
Switch in enable position.
SRB ignition enabled.
Box 2, verify CISA purge flowing Chan 2 to the CISA.
Verified.
OSM, verify the FCO, ROC, and OSM whole fire switches are in the proceed position.
Ready to proceed.
RLM,
Oh,
verify redline monitor.
that bird got a fish, you see that?
For terminal count. Verified. RC, verify solid radiation acceptable for launch.
Verified.
WFOV IFPS enabled.
Roger. CRTD, begin telemetry verifications.
I think so, Blue.
Sierra TD, we can confirm 33.04 volts.
Roger. And flight control looking for your launch on time verification.
Roger.
541 is one of the most aesthetic rockets ever designed, Prey. It's so good. Look at that rocket, looks amazing. It looks right. That looks like what you should like. That looks like what a rocket should look like.
We remain in
Either
the
that or
hold
Delta IV
as we
Heavy.
continue towards
Delta IV
liftoff.
Heavy is...
In a few minutes, launch conductor Scott Barney will pull the launch team for the final go to pick up the countdown. 29 engineers and managers are pulled for system status and readiness to proceed. This is a final status check for all Atlas
Dominator,
vehicle systems,
acting.
ground systems, spacecraft,
How tall is it?
and the U.S. Space Force Eastern
200
Range.
220
Vehicle
feet,
system
somewhere around there?
readiness poll includes electrical systems, hydraulics, pneumatics, propulsion systems, flight control, and propellants. Let's listen in as Scott Barney performs the final polling.
All steps are complete prior to the status
I
check.
got my voice
LC.
back frilled, but...
Switch to ready position.
Here, I'm going to shut up for a second, okay?
L-minus 7 minutes.
7
Status
minutes.
check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas systems, propulsion. Go. Hydraulics. Go. Pneumatics. Go. LO2. Go. Water. Go. Centaur systems, propulsion.
Go.
Pneumatics.
Go.
LO2. Go. LH2. Go. Has gas. Go. Electrical systems, airborne.
Go.
Ground. Go. Facility. Go. RFFTS.
Go.
Flight control. Go. GCQ.
Go.
Operation support.
Go.
Com.
Go.
Umbilicals.
Go.
ECS.
Go.
Redline monitor. Go. Quality.
Go.
Ops safety management. Go. ULA safety officer. Go. Vehicle system engineer.
No,
Go.
hydrogen.
Anomaly chief.
Acting.
Go. Range coordinator.
Clear to proceed.
Launch director.
Stand by. Awaiting POLs for winds.
Roger. I will hold prior to coming out of the count.
What did you just say?
And LC, that one.
Waiting for winds.
LD.
Are you expecting to get a clear in the next minute and a half?
Yes, we are.
I was going to say...
This is LD. Launch vehicle is ready to launch.
Roger. Mission director.
Mission Director, you have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count.
Okay.
ALC, verify T0 is set for 23:15:000.
5 minutes. Should be coming up on releasing the 4-minute hold in the top left corner.
WFOV is configured for launch.
WFOV is configured for launch.
Polling is complete. The ULA launch team and the
Wide
Space
field of
Force
views
mission
and
director
the ring
go
spacecraft
for
are
launch.
configured for launch.
From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you will be listening to Scott Barney and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. Several critical activities occur in the final minutes before launch,
Oh, there you
including
go.
verifying fuel
Right,
tank
right.
levels and pressures in the booster and Centaur, and arming the flight termination system. At T-minus 25 seconds, you'll hear, "Go Atlas, go Centaur, go USSF-12. This is a final status check of Atlas, Centaur, and USSF-12 readiness. At T-minus 3
Blue?
seconds, the main engine ignites, followed by ignition of the solid
Yes.
rocket boosters.
Gotta know people?
Then after seeing the Atlas V lift off the launch pad, you'll begin hearing flight commentator
Hey, Zayvon.
Patrick Moore providing ascent data.
Yeah, it does
as the
look like
rocket
it's
makes
clearing
its
up
way to
there.
orbit.
Should be releasing the hold here very soon. Watch that 4-minute counter in the top left corner.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We anticipate releasing the hold in just a few moments.
2, 1, mark. 359.
Here we go!
Transferring ring to internal power.
Roger.
355.
Ground pyros enabled.
So the ground pyrotechnics
The
are
countdown clock
enabled.
is resumed
That's
and
the
we are
separator
go
mechanism.
For launch at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. With liftoff approaching, we're going to raise the volume on our launch team so you can hear the final preps.
Yes, please do that. All right.
330.
Atlas hydraulics at flight pressure.
I don't know, someone.
Three minutes.
180 seconds.
Securing L2 top.
Atlas tank to flight pressure.
Okay, tanks are at flight pressure.
250.
FPS internal.
Flight termination system is internal on the vehicle, meaning the onboard computers are now in control of the termination system should something happen. How you feeling? I got my voice back, Explosive, but I'm having a hard time here keeping up. I'm going to take the rest of the night off, but other than that, I'm feeling okay. I'll be back for tomorrow. It's going fine, Jado. But my voice is back, so we're heading in the right direction, which I'm really happy about. Hey, MacB. Manatee, how are you?
159.
They'll race still, Dama.
Vehicle internal.
155.
Launch sequencer start.
Okay, sequencer is on.
150.
Steering Centaur LH2.
Maybe W, who knows?
Centaur LO2.
What?
140.
Launch enabled.
137.
I think they keyed a mic at a weird time there. Yeah.
T-minus 90 seconds.
Here
the
we
launch
go.
Vehicle, payload, ground systems, and Eastern Range are go for launch.
Now GTA is
Ring
okay.
is configured for launch.
120.
Yeah, Max Racing Pro and a bunch of other guys will be streaming it, fellas. If you just want to watch
count
racing,
started.
I'm gonna have to sit. I can't.
Reduce ECS for launch.
I don't want to push
Roger.
myself.
110.
Vent valves locked.
T-minus 1 minute.
Here we go. 60 seconds. Stand by for terminal status check here. Yeah, guys, I have the volume max because I was trying to hear the comm loops. So, headphone users, just in case. It's a preemptive headphone user. $30 seconds remaining.
Verified ECS reduced for launch. Verified.
25.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go USSF-12.
Send it.
Discovery, go at throttle.
T-minus 10, 9, 8.
Sound suppressor should
7,
turn on here.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Sound suppressor is on.
2,
Got a
1.
good ignition.
We have engine ignition.
Send it.
And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying USSF-12
Fly,
from the
baby,
United
fly.
States Space Force.
Pitch over program line reach is good. NPU's gone to closed loop. System response looks good. Now 20 seconds into flight.
Oh, that's nice.
It's now completing the pitch over maneuver.
I don't hate that.
RD-180 is throttled down slightly to partial thrust. Response looks good. Now 30 seconds.
Dominator goes fast,
into flight.
man.
Atlas 5 is now passing Mach 1. RD-180 continue to look good in partial thrust mode. Seeing good chamber pressures on all SRBs.
That noise.
And at 49 seconds into flight, max Q, maximum dynamic pressure.
Come on.
RD-180 engine operating parameters continue to look good. SRB chamber pressures also look good. Now
Direct to Geo, JW. It's a hardcore flight. This is a crazy ascent trajectory.
RD-180 now throttling back up to full thrust as expected. Chamber pressures on the SRBs continue to look good. RD-180 engine operating parameters also look good.
She books, Creeper. It's got
Now
a little
1
more
minute,
thrust
23
than
seconds into flight,
what you're used to messing around with,
boost
dude.
phase of flight. And at this point in the flight, Atlas 5 now weighs just 1/2 of its liftoff weight. And see SRB chamber pressure is tailing off now. And we have SRB burnout. 1 minute, 45 seconds into flight. RD-180 engine operating parameters continue to look good.
Yep. And yep. We're good.
And we have jettison of all 4 solid rocket boosters.
Very nice. What? Look at.
Vehicle's gone to
Oh!
closed loop steering.
There's the
Body
closed
rate
loop.
responses look good.
Oh, that's cool. Did you see it pitch over? That's awesome.
Just past 2 minutes into flight now.
RD-180 throttling down slightly as expected. Engine operating parameters continue to look good.
Creepers eventually, right?
And 2 minutes now remaining in the boost phase of flight.
Yeah, it looks
Atlas
like
5 is now
the
50
sun
miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange distance,
may have
traveling at 5,000 miles per hour.
The sun may have done something in this
2 minutes,
area
40
right
seconds
here.
in.
Not here.
RD-180 engine operating parameters
or there
continue to
so
look good.
much, but like right here.
Vehicle body rates looking good throughout boost phase.
It's just the tan line? Oh,
And
the
Centaur
camera.
reaction control system is now pressurizing to flight level. System response looks good. Coming up on 3 minutes into flight. RD-180 now throttling to maintain a constant 2.5 G acceleration limit, seeing good response on the RD-180.
Not like this. Okay, everything's looking good here.
Body rates continue to look good throughout boost phase. Now passing 3 minutes, 20 seconds into flight. Approximately 1 minute now remaining until BECO.
There's fairing set. That's a big fairing. Stand by for FLR jettison. There it goes.
And we have good indication of payload fairing jettison and CFLR deck jettison.
Centaur forward load reactor. It's basically just a
Vehicle's now throttled
strut
back up
that
slightly.
holds
Engine
the
response
second
continues
stage
to look good.
inside of the fairing. So the forward load reactor would be right here, and
And RD-180 now throttling to maintain a constant 4.6 G acceleration limit in preparation for BECO.
That forward load reactor holds the Centaur
And
inside
we
of the
have boost
fairing
phase
so it
chill
doesn't move around. Hey Elite, what's
Passing
going
4
on?
minutes into flight. Vehicle systems all continue to operate nominally throughout boost phase. Body rates continue to look good. RD-180 engine operating parameters continue to look good as it maintains that acceleration limit. Standing by for BECO shortly.
Stand by for booster engine cutoff.
And we have BECO booster engine
Watch
cutoff,
right
standing
here.
by for stage set. And we have good indication of stage separation. We have pre-start on the RL-10, standing by for ignition.
That's nice.
We have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Chamber pressure looks good. Body rates look
That's
good.
nice. Great separation. Oh, that looked fantastic. That was terrific.
Centaur's gone to closed loop steering. Body rates continue to look good.
Look at you can see the Centaur gimbaling, or the RL-10 on the Centaur. You can see it moving
Now
back
5
and forth.
minutes into flight. RL-10 chamber pressure continues to look good. Body rates look good. This first burn of today's mission will last approximately 6 minutes, 18 seconds.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 5 minutes and 14 seconds. We just heard flight commentator Patrick Moore confirm the successful completion of the early phase of today's flight, and all
That's right,
systems
Alex.
continue to operate nominally.
It's nice. Good
Our
motor.
next event,
Good motor.
Centaur main engine cutoff, will occur in approximately 6 minutes. As we approach our next milestone, we'd like to share a recent conversation
that's
with
it,
U.S.
Sean.
Space Force's Colonel Heather Bogsty.
Colonel?
Hi, I'm Colonel Heather Bogsty, the Senior Material Leader
Discovery,
for
no
the
drama.
Resilient Missile Warning, Missile Tracking, and Missile Defense Acquisition Delta from the Space Sensing Directorate, Space Systems Command in Los Angeles Air Force Base, California. At Space Systems Command, we are focused on the threat.
All
And
right,
right now,
Sean,
we are
enjoy.
at unprecedented times where the threat is coming at us faster than ever, with dimmer targets that we are currently working to detect better. The launch of the USSF-12 and Wide Field of View will really help shape how we implement our architecture moving forward and get after that threat. We are working with the Space Development Agency and the Missile Defense Agency in a combined program office to have an integrated missile warning architecture that will soon pivot away from GEO towards the MEO and LEO layers on orbit. The data from Wide Field of View will help pathfind
Gee,
and
I wonder what she's
demonstrate what
referring to.
technologies we want to use in the future. Wide Field of View has a 4K by 4K focal plane. With this, we'll be able to see a larger area of the Earth than ever before, over 3,000 plus kilometers at any one time. It also has a tactical cryo cooler, which has been used in the air domain, and now we're eager to see how it will be applied to the space domain. If this works, we can see significant cost savings as we scale up our architecture in the future. Another way that Wide Field of View is going to be helping us is with data exploitation. We're performing data exploitation out of our TAP lab in Boulder, Colorado, and the team there is really looking at how do we enhance our algorithms to really refine the battle space characterization and missile warning capabilities that we currently have. Wide field of view is really going to help demonstrate that moving forward. It's also going to help us operationalize
porta
the
potty
data
trucks here.
and get it integrated into the integrated tactical warning, attack, and assessment architecture that we're currently seeing with the SBIRS missions. We're very eager for the upcoming launch of SBIRS GEO-6, as it will be the second OPR spacecraft in a very short duration of time, really making our missile warning capability more robust than ever. We'd like to thank all of our mission partners and industry partners that have helped us to get to this point so far. Millennium Space Systems for the integration of the payload and the bus development, L3 Harris for the payload, United Launch Alliance for helping launch our satellite into orbit, for the Space Dynamics Laboratory for the data exploitation and algorithm development, our partners at the Aerospace Corporation, and our partners at NASA Ames. Without all of them, this would not be possible, and we're very eager to see all the amazing capabilities that Wide Field of View is going to bring to orbit. Go Wide Field of View.
Thank you, Colonel.
We are a couple minutes away from MECO 1. While we wait, we thought it would be fun to share the results from the rounds of trivia we hosted earlier for our ULA Twitter account.
So see, they
Great
still have
job
a negative
to all who
perigee.
participated
Not
and
on
who
orbit
were
yet.
first to correctly answer each question. Okay, we're going to get into the trivia questions now. Question 1. Before today's mission, what was the most recent...
I know this one. I know this one. Do you guys know this one?
Answer is... ULA successfully launched the GOES-T Weather Observatory for NOAA and NASA in March from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Question number 2.
What was the one before that? There was the Dominator before that one.
ULA performed in its 150 successful launches to date.
I know what it was before
And
that.
the answer for number 2 is ULA has launched 93 national security missions in our first 150
Perseverance
flights,
was before that. I
deploying
don't think Lucy was
reconnaissance,
541.
communications, navigation, and weather satellites for the nation. Moving on to question number 3. How many burns by the Centaur upper stage are planned in tonight's USSF-12 launch? And the answer is... The USSF-12 launch is a direct insertion into geosynchronous orbit, one of the most challenging missions required by national security spaceflight. Atlas V will conduct 3 Centaur burns to reach its destination.
Let's keep an eye on that perigee.
Next question number 4.
Guys, look at the top right corner. When that perigee goes positive, that means you're on orbit. So their insertion apogee is 218. That means they're on orbit, but these numbers will flip. They'll flip, and the perigee will stay around 220 when it goes positive, and then the apogee will start going up like crazy. Watch.
And the final question number 5. What is the horsepower rating of the Atlas V 541 rocket launching tonight? And the final answer is...
Positive? Okay,
the
we got
Atlas
positive
V
perigee.
541 rocket unleashed 32 million horsepower to launch the USSF-12
They might
mission
just insert.
to
Give me
geosynchronous
one
orbit.
second. Watch. Nope. She's still
And we have
going.
MECO, main engine cut off.
Okay, 162 by 358. See how the APs, the apogee started going up?
Centaur
That
is
means
now
it's
entering a
circularized and then it
12-minute
kept
coast
going.
duration.
And then, that was the first of those 3 burns that they were talking about. They're going to hit the second one here. Once they're going to coast a little ways. Once they get to the second point of burn, the apogee number will go insanely high. That will go up to like 38,000 or something. Somewhere around there. 38,000 kilometers.
The second main engine burn will occur in approximately 12 minutes.
Yep.
During this time, I have the pleasure of being welcomed by Jason Kim, Millennium Space Systems CEO. Jason, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Andrea.
Well, I bet you're really excited and relieved to finally see that the weather held out for that launch.
That's right, I'm on Cloud 9, and I know a lot about clouds now.
Yeah,
That's
we know.
what delayed
Anvil
us.
clouds, cumulus clouds. I'm sure we're all very educated now.
Right.
Well, before we get into the launch, because I know we're just kind of riding high right now on the launch, we're actually going to take a look at a video you sent us about wide field of view. So before we get into our interview, let's take a look.
Fantastic.
Our missile warning capability is the initial bell ringer for the nation. Our systems provide constant coverage to detect and report missile launches, giving us the ability to attribute from where a missile is launched, determine where it is headed, and then keep our families, warfighters, and allies.
And to figure out where it
the
is.
Advancing and very real threat requires that we expand our focus beyond integrating and fielding a single space system iteratively. While staying far ahead of the threat, we must deliver more resilient, multi-layer systems of systems, bring together best-of-breed operational space technology from across agencies, and field affordable capability. We must transform how we execute this mission because threats are constantly evolving.
Wide Field of View is a geosynchronous satellite for the U.S. Space Force. It serves as a standalone testbed for missile warning. The satellite will test different ways to collect and report missile launch data and will inform future OPIR programs of record. The program really is a team effort
This is
for
graphics,
the Space
though.
Force, NASA Ames, and our industry
Oh,
partners.
snap. What do we
Our
need to
two
do to get
industry
it to actually
partners,
be like
Millennium
that?
Space Systems and L3 Harris, adopt us as full team members with desks in their facilities and during critical phases like the environmental tests we sat together. We leverage the expertise of the Naval Research Laboratory Blossom Point tracking facility to achieve 24/7 ops with a minimum operator footprint. That's using NRL's automated ground resource
No
management
idea what you're talking about,
and
dude.
spacecraft command and control. We've also partnered with NASA Ames for their acquisition and subject matter expertise.
Automated ground operations is what gives Blossom Point the capability
the
to track
NRL is
satellites
in on this.
24/7 with reduced manning. NRL has a long history of tracking satellites. Blossom Point's been here since 1956. Wide Field of View actually fits in with the research and development mission that goes along with Blossom Point.
Missile warning and the early detection of ballistic missile threats is critical to our nation and our allies' safety. The Wide Field of View system will enhance our nation's current OPIR architecture and capabilities and rapidly incorporate new technologies into future systems.
Cool.
Well, that's a pretty great video, and I know we're going to learn a little bit more about Wide Field of View and Millennium as we get through this interview here. So let's kick it off. So, as we know, Millennium's very involved in this process. So, what does it mean for Millennium to actually see us finally launch here?
It means a lot to us. Our company was founded in 2001, so we've been around for 21 years, focused on national security space. So this is a huge milestone for us to actually be able to deliver a
That's their
missile warning
satellite up
system
here.
in space.
This thing from about
Great.
here
I mean,
forward.
I know it's been a
This way.
touch and go couple of days, but
I
I'm
know what
so
you're talking-
excited we finally got the
I know
weather
what
to
you're talking
clear
about,
and it was
geek.
meant to be today. So I know it means a lot to you. What part did Millennium play in today's launch?
We built the spacecraft and we integrated for the U.S. Space Force the L3 Harris payload. And we also do mission operations as well, so we have a crew in El Segundo that are ready to operate this satellite once there's separation and we turn the spacecraft on.
El Segundo.
Okay, great. So you're really involved.
Nice neighborhood.
Cradle to grave during this process.
That's
So
right.
That's great. Why do we need systems?
They do
like
any
Wide
aerospace
Field
stuff there
of
at all
View?
in El Segundo? Anyone?
There's a couple of reasons
Anyone?
why we need systems like Wide
Bueller?
Field of View. In order to keep our country safe, we really need early ballistic missile warning. And so that's what this mission is to do that. And also, it's a test bed, so you could really test out new technologies that I'd love to talk more about.
Yeah, great. I know that means a lot to me.
Oh.
That's one thing that I really like about being in the rocket business, and is I have lots of friends in the military. So
Startups,
we're
those
talking
things.
about
Yes,
early
yes,
detection.
startups.
That means a lot to me
Oh, yes,
personally. My
yes.
best friend's husband is in the Air Force, fighting for our country. So it means a lot that we're able to partner in this and be able to provide this to the country.
Absolutely, especially with the 4th of July coming.
Yes, absolutely. It really gives us some perspective, doesn't it?
Yes.
So
I like
what,
this guy. I like this guy.
What's different about this system?
The
Yep,
name
this guy's
for
cool.
itself, the name of this mission is Wide Field of View. So this has a Wide Field of View 6-degree steering focal plane array with a 4K
Yeah, that guy's cool.
aspect. And what that does is it allows us to really don't miss anything. We don't miss a beat. So we're able to capture the early detection of these ballistic missiles very persistently. And another thing about this mission is we have a very flexible bus. It's a geo bus that can accommodate this payload as well as a diverse set of payloads, and also accommodate multiple payloads at the same time.
Okay, so a lot of increased capability.
Yeah,
there.
Jackal, I didn't know that guy.
Yeah, so
But,
for
yeah,
folks who don't
sucks.
know about Millennium Space Systems, why don't you tell us what your company does?
Yeah, you know, our company was founded in 2001 to focus on national security space. So we specialize in building small satellite prototypes and constellations. And we support national security space missions like missile warning, missile tracking, ISR, and advanced space. And it really starts with our culture. We have a very can-do attitude culture. We move very fast. We take calculated risks. We're very innovative. And so we have a very strong workforce that we continue to add to. So we have plenty of great jobs for everybody.
Yeah, great. So on that note, what's next for Millennium?
Well, so we just unveiled a new small satellite factory. So now we're able to go from low rate production of tens of satellites per year to very high rate production to constellations. So we're going to be delivering more and more constellations to support all the different national security space missions.
Great. So quite an increase in the number of satellites you're going to be producing there. I really hope you decide to launch more on our rockets. This is a great partnership.
That's right.
She said more on.
So what do you think makes Millennium special?
I think it starts with the culture, like I mentioned. I can see it with the ULA culture. I see the people, how they work with each other to, basically get the mission done.
Right.
And we're very much mission focused. So we got a whole mission ops crew waiting there in El Segundo to take on this mission, and we're going to operate the satellite.
Right. It's an exciting time to be in space.
Mention that place again, Snap.
Well, Jason, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before you
This has been a great launch, and thank you, ULA.
Yeah, looking forward. We have a little bit left to go here, so I know we'll all be anxiously awaiting delivery of the payload to orbit, but so far things are looking good. But I do want to thank you for your time today, and I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers appreciated it as well.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you very much.
That guy's cool.
Throughout
I like
the
that
burn
guy.
and into the coast. We are seeing just minor telemetry dropouts. However, telemetry quality overall has been very good.
What's the threat?
Body rates continue to remain very
Oh,
stable.
the threats are
throughout the coast.
adversarial. Jeez. Do I have to explain everything? Should be getting a relight here momentarily. The launch director, or the mission director, was just talking about intermittent signal, though.
And in approximately 3 minutes, the Centaur will ignite to begin the second burn of today's mission. 23 seconds prior
What's
to
that,
ignition,
Novacom?
RL-10 will begin the fuel and oxidizer pre-start sequence. This burn will last approximately 5.5 minutes.
What? Who's playing KSP? Hold on.
To take on this mission.
There's no one here playing KSP. You're crazy. You're just, I was gonna say, that guy is playing Kerbal. You nuts, man. You got me for a second. I'm like, wait, what?
Centaur systems all continue to look good.
Oh my goodness. Millennium is at the corner of El Segundo and North Douglas
And
Street
now
next time you
approaching
come
the
out.
final 2 minutes of the coast.
We gotta, maybe we should go in there and see if they need any EJ's restoration. Oh snap! Am I right or am I right? Boy.
100 seconds now remaining until mess 2.
Oh, look at that thing, Alex. Okay.
We're just a couple minutes away from our next mission event, Second Centaur Main Engine Starter, Mess 2. Let's get back to the mission. Once again, here's Patrick Moore.
Body rates continue to look good.
Rates are looking good. Oh snap, we should do that thing. You know the thing we were talking about? We should do the thing.
LOX and LH2. Tank pressures have remained stable throughout the coast. And tank pressure is now beginning to increase in preparation for the burn. Just under 1 minute now remaining until mess 2.
So you notice that Centaur, if you look at the back there, it has some thrusters on it. They're using
tank pressure is continuing to increase in preparation for the burn.
They're using aerosine thrusters. Actually, it could be hydrazine. It's a monopropellant thruster.
Ignition.
Monopropellant RCS is what they're using there. Inside of 30 seconds till main engine start.
Centaur's begun the pre-start sequence.
2. Watch that apogee number in the top right. That thing will start skyrocketing when the engine fires.
Pre-start on LOX and LH2.
Okay.
And standing by for ignition shortly.
Inside of 10 seconds now.
We have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Chamber pressure.
Look at the apogee. Look at the apogee go. Go, baby, go.
From the startup transient.
Engage. Dude, look at that number go up.
5.5 minutes. Centaur's gone to closed loop steering.
As many times as you wanted, man.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 23 minutes and 38 seconds. Patrick Moore just reported successful start of the second of 3 Centaur engine burns.
This number's going big.
The 2 spacecraft are scheduled to separate from Centaur in a geosynchronous orbit.
So, check this out. Look, they're also burning slightly coplanar normal in. Look, inclination is going down. They're taking a little bit of ink out of this burn here.
You can stay updated on today's long ascent to orbit with ULA's live blog at ulalaunch.com or join the conversation on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Andrea Lenhoff. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'm really glad that we were able to see this rocket get off the pad. But before we sign off tonight, let's take a look at that liftoff that occurred at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
Where are you going? Your mission's still happening.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have engine ignition and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying USSF-12 for the United States Space Force.
That's nice.
Pitch over program, body rates look good.
I already know where the secret satellite's going.
System response looks good. Now 20 seconds into flight.
Oh, ho, 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 what a shot. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. What do you think of that, Mr. Australian commentator? Yeah! All right. That was good. Good mission. All right, guys. So, this was a good prototype to see if I'm good to go again. I was only going to cover the launch today, just to try and take it easy. I think I tried to get back to work a little bit too quick this week, and I really ended up paying for it. So I usually keep going with the stream, but I'm gonna stop. I don't want to push it. I had COVID, that's why. I tried to go back to full streaming 2 days after having COVID, and it didn't really work. It did not do things that I thought was correct to do. So I'm gonna go enjoy my pizza, and we're gonna go see what Haas is up to, okay? My buddy Haas is playing, he's doing some NoPixel right now. He's doing some GTA RP, okay? So, I think I'm good to go tomorrow. I'm going to try to start up at my regular start time. Once again, apologies for being so intermittent this week. COVID, man. I know that's not the current thing, right? No, dude, it screwed me up. It screwed me up a little bit, but I should be good now. I'll see you guys tomorrow around noontime. Go see what Haas is up to, and have a good night, guys. Thank you very much.